probably running hot. Game's got a lot of variance in it. Alright. Standard, Magic Arena. Standard on Magic Arena. Let's do it. Did we mulligan a lot? Yeah, I feel like we mulliganed an okay amount. We won on turn 3 off of a mull to 5. We also like had a number of hands where like we didn't win the game till turn 2 or 3, right? Like we weren't killing people on turn 1 every time. There were plenty of games where like we like cast a Serum Visions while getting set up. You don't cast the Worm, Bulletproof Probe. The Worm is there because it's a 15 cost green card to pitch to Nourishing Shoal. Alright, 4-color Gates. This is an archetype that we played a good bit of last season that kind of fell off a little bit. Part of the reason I think it fell off is because, one, it can kind of struggle against red. I'm hoping that maybe Arboreal Grazer and having all of our Gatebreaker Rams in the main deck can help change that. Two, is that there were a lot of these Planeswalkers this season, like Narset, that prevents you from drawing cards. So Hydroid Crisis became a lot worse. So notably, I've cut Hydroid Crisis from this configuration. Instead, we've got Expansion Explosion here as a way to not only leverage us having lots of mana in our ramp deck, but also this card can combo alongside Morale Storm Conduit. I've also got Tamiyo, Collector of Tales here as a way to find cards that we care about, generate some card advantage, rebuy things like these. So let's dive on into some matches here and see how it goes. I'm a fan of the London Mulligan rule. For the sake of discussion, do you think the rule makes this deck any more dangerous since it seems Veto is the only scary card against it? I mean, I would like to point out that we only played against one Thoughtseize deck in that league, and in the second game that we beat them, we cast Chalice of the Void for 1 on turn 1. I am pretty solidly of the opinion that the London Mulligan rule makes every deck in Modern more consistent, which includes the deck we just played, and I think if the London Mulligan makes a deck like what we were just playing too consistent to the point where they feel it's too good for the format, rather than making Magic overall as a game worse, we should instead just ban the decks that are problems. So don't make Magic higher variance as a game because you're afraid to manage your non-rotating formats with a ban list. This hand would really like a second Gate, but it's pretty reasonable overall. It's got turn 1 Grazer off of this, drop a Simic Guildgate into play, and we're on the draw, which is nice. So reasonable stuff here against most aggro decks. We've got this, this, and this, which is nice. Although Ablaze currently only dealing 1. Hey, what's going on, Malaris? Welcome, welcome. So, am I supposed to shock this in on 1? So if I shock this in, I get to block here, but I kinda don't want to put this into play till I have 2 gates anyways. So even if I shock this in and drop this into play or this into play, I'm not gonna play a 3-drop on 3 because I want to gain life from this. So I think I'm actually supposed to put this into play tapped and then do this into this into this next turn. This seems reasonable. Got my little O3 with reach here. Because my opponent is stalled on lands here, I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and Gates Ablaze this turn. This notably leaves my Grazer alive still, which is nice. It means they can't flip their Legion's Landing. All right. Yeah, this build, if this build is relatively okay, it's probably super cheap, right? Because I've cut the Hydrate Graces, which was the one really expensive card. Hey, Doogie, thanks for the 7-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So previously, when we played this archetype, you really couldn't cut Root because you didn't have enough ramp otherwise. But with Growth Spiral and Grazer, I wonder if that's still the case. Although maybe you could make the argument that if I'm cutting Root, I don't really have enough white sources left in my deck. Like, this is pseudo-fixing for Archway Angel. So maybe I do need to leave these in. Let's try this. Yeah, that seems fine. To go tapped land into tapped land Shivan Fire or something. Your opponent minus Liliana with a Tamiyo on the field. That's great. Alright, well now we're just going to get our Graze on. $420 Graze it. Lol. Let's do this now. Huh. Do I want to expansion this? Do I want to expansion this? Quick Walrus, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. I probably do, huh? Oh. Yeah, I should wait for them to sack, right? That's fine. I still killed 2 of their 3 things. I just left them with a 2-power thing. It's whatever. I'm watching for a while and decided to use my free sub for a timeout, please. I got you, Walrus. And thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a great Monday. I don't know, we're probably fine. I've got my O3. These are lined up to gain us 10 a pop. And then, like, because I have 2 of them, they're going to get to play defense relatively well. Hey, Zeagle, thank you for the 11 months. Welcome back. All right. If I don't find, like, a Gates Ablaze or a payoff here, we could be in a little bit of trouble. Alright, that's a payoff down the line. So this gains 12 up to 25. This one will gain 12 up to a little bit more. It's Expansion Explosion, currently drawing 3 cards. Flying on these doesn't really matter. Sure. Timeouts are an old meme at this point on this channel. If you don't understand why people are asking for them, don't worry about it. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Ram there just because it would be big enough to block these 4-power dorks. It's like if they attack with everything here, I'm taking 9, 10, 11, 15, and I'm going to block this, kill this.
Gideon Jura, at your service. I believe in you.
I have a Conclave Tribunal here, too. I have another elephant. I have another elephant. Yikes. Gates Ablaze, please. Gates Ablaze, please. Brutal. Nifty. Thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. Right, I'm just going to gain the most life possible here because, actually, we'll do this. And then hoping to rip a Gates Ablaze. Am I dead? I don't actually know if I'm dead here or not. Let's find out. Yeah, Gates Ablaze means I'm still dead to this Gideon. Yeah, I mean, they were stuck on one land for a little while, but, like, the average converted mana cost in their deck is, like, incredibly low. So. These Rals are probably too cute to leave in here. Expansioning the Spiral didn't matter. Bulletproof Pope. Gideon still kills me the next turn. Yeah, this hand's great. Needs a land or two, but like our deck has 27 lands in it, so hopefully we'll draw a couple of those. Famous last words, I know. Yeah. Well, I have an 0-3 at least. Hey, Clipsy, thanks for 13 months. Welcome back. Yay! Magic! Woo! Magic! The worst part is this one can't even go on my autobiography 26 lands later, because there's 27 lands in this deck. 27 lands. Gateway Plaza, please. Gateway Plaza, please. Alright, alright, that'll do, pig. That'll do. Bye, friends. Hey, like Amash, well, welcome to the Discord server.
I believe in you, friend.
I believe in your friend. Ooh, all right. So you're saying there's a chance. This Gideon's a little rough though. I like kind of need to hit running lands here so I can curve out into these Archway Angels to pressure this. Yikes, that lets this attack through here, which sucks. And I don't, even if I draw lands next, even if I draw a gate next turn, my Gates Ablaze is currently only dealing 3 because this is a breeding pool. Huh. I wonder if I was supposed to chump block with the Grazer. Yeah, I think I was supposed to chump block with the Grazer in case I drew that. Because this lets me deal 4 to everything, but I lose the Grazer. So I could be at 20 if I chump block there. And like the Grazer's probably not gaining more than 4 anyways. So yeah, I probably should have cashed it in. I think that was a mistake on my part. If I hit another untapped land here, we might end up okay with running Angels.
Light will cleave the darkness.
Alright, that at least has text this turn. Morning, like mush. I said that one already. Morning, Farsight. So best draws like another Gateway Plaza here. I meant Plaza of Harmony, which is what we drew. Sweet. So this only gains me 4, but I gain 3 off of that, and then I get to cast this turn. So like if I'd have drawn another gate, it would gain me more life in the long run, but... Yeah, Crazy Chimp, you need to read Gideon.
Justice is
None of the sweepers impact Gideon. So, this is going to be able to finish off Gideon next turn, which is sweet. He's only going to 3, so we're hoping to dodge Conclave Tribunal here.
prepare for battle.
And then, so I get to kill Gideon, and then Gates Ablaze gets to clean up all of these. Yeah, Settle beats Gideon. Settle is an exile effect. It's not damage. All right, so we're not out of the woodwork yet, but if we find like an expansion or a Tamiyo or like another Angel, will be in a pretty okay spot. Gatebreaker Ram also good, just a way to like allow us to stabilize the board a little bit more while also providing offensive closing power. I'm gonna let them play out. I'm gonna let them make at least one more token here. And again, remember, I failed to make a good block earlier this game, so I would be 4 points of health higher if I had been a little bit more, proactive. Ram's a great draw here. It's gonna encourage my opponent to extend even more before they attack next time. I'm gonna say that attack does not seem good. Should have attacked with this too. Because they did that at sorcery speed, I'm just gonna go ahead and Gates Ablaze now. Maybe I should wait a turn. So they have 7, 8, 9. So they can make this a 3/3 this turn. Again, at this point, we're a little bit ahead, but we need to close the game before our opponent, like, draws more action out of it. So, like, while our average top deck in a position like this is more powerful, our deck has more lands in it than our opponent, so, like, we're likely to flood out, and they're not. Drawing a land there is really good for us, because it means this becomes a 6/6, which means it can attack into this making a token. Whereas, like, if this was still a 5/5, they could triple block and kill my Ram. Ram really showing the power of it being able to play offense and defense simultaneously here. I don't have any summits in my deck right now, Trax. Am I okay cashing in this Gatebreaker Ram for a Knight, 2 Vampires, and a 3/3? I think I am. Because they're like wide enough at this point, like if they draw like a Marshall or something, that's like not ideal for me. Yeah, I agree, Yaku. The mono red matchup with that archetype is pretty reasonable. The three Bantus go a long way. Yikes! All right, need to hit a payoff here. Need an expansion explosion or another sweeper, another angel. Mathematically speaking, Clown Copter, double white is not castable consistently. In fact, you could even make the argument that single white is difficult to cast here. That deck wins very quickly, Saltport. We went 4-1 in less than an hour. So dead to a removal spell here. They have another Conclave Tribunal. Not quite dead to that, but pretty close. Close, but no cigar. Opponent even flooded out there for a little bit. Came up a little bit short in the long run. Perhaps I boarded out too many of my payoffs. I did board out all my guild summits, leaving in my expansion explosion. So maybe I'm supposed to leave in some number of my more cards that draw cards. I left in Tamiyo though, so I left in like six-ish high impact cards. Maybe that's not quite enough considering I can use the expansion explosions like extra removal early. And, like, while it feels bad to, like, draw a bunch of lands there at the end, like we had mentioned earlier, like, our deck does have 27 lands in it, right? So, like, this is a deck that's prone to just, like, drawing a bunch of lands. That's just, like, how it works. When your deck is almost 50% lands, you're gonna flood fairly often. What do I think about an only a mass deck? What's the appeal? Why would that be good? Alright, and I think this is going to be one of those places where this archetype's likely to struggle. We're playing against a deck that has 4 Narsets in the main deck, so probably going to be a bad time for a deck that has a bunch of cards that draw extra cards. Gatebreaker Ram, notably, not fantastic against 3-mana Teferi either. Just gets sent back from whence he came. Yep, so now it's like, do I even bother to play the Gatebreaker Ram? It's just going to get sent back to my hand next turn, right? I think the answer is no. I mean, Guild Summit effectively has an enter the battlefield effect, so like them bouncing Guild Summit isn't really like something that's that bad for us. So like, in fact, I think your discussion is actually reason to not play the Gatebreaker Ram, because if they're going to bounce something, I would rather they be bouncing Guild Summit that does something when it comes into play, rather than this Gatebreaker Ram which just uses my mana. Yikes! And this is, you know, the wonder that is Magic the Gathering. Last game we flooded out. This game we're on 27 lands and can't hit a 5th land after drawing 2 extra cards. I mean, Affinity literally just made the finals of a Mythic Championship, so like, complaining that artifacts are dead in Modern sounds like some hot Reddit garbage nonsense based on no data and just your feelings. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's going on, little man?
Focus, and I have just the trick for this.
And there, again, like, this is one of the tough parts about trying to play this Gates deck, is one of our best payoffs here is Guild Summit, and Narset's a card that people are just playing 4 of in their main deck that's just completely invalidated.
Daddy.
Completely invalidated Guild Summit. What's up? I have a lava card?
The moon looks
Oh, you think I should do the lava card?
Next, yeah, do that one next.
I don't know. They don't really have any monsters to put in the lava.
Well, I do. They didn't put monsters in the lava card, so the seas can put out. I don't need it.
Did you need something, or are you just here to visit?
Let me aid your research.
Alright, we're gonna name Railstorm Conduit here, because I already have... And like, again, I get to put this into play, but it doesn't actually draw anything because of Narset's glowing red now.
No time for a break. Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Sorry. For those in other countries, today is Memorial Day in the United States, which means that schools and daycares and lots of places of business are closed. So I have tiny monsters a lurk in the background. If he gets annoying, we'll send him upstairs with Mom, but he's being relatively good for now.
Exploit ripples through time.
We're just super dead, right? And this, again, just, like, really highlights one of the issues with Gates as an archetype and why it's basically all but disappeared from the format, is that it struggles, this deck struggles against aggro. You watched us lose to the aggressive deck in the first match, but it also now struggles against these control decks because the control decks have things like Narsets and have better sources of card advantage. So previously, what this archetype was able to do was, because of cards like Guild Summit and your Hydra Crates and stuff like that, you were able to outcard a lot of these other mid-range and control decks, and now you're just not able to do that anymore, which basically takes this archetype's only good matchup and removes it. He took something from my snack closet and then went upstairs. I'm basically just a living snack closet. Yeah, maybe the Immortal Sun could be okay, but the problem with that is, like, the Immortal Sun, like, the Narset passive still shuts off the Immortal Sun, and the Immortal Sun isn't a way to actually win the game. Is a big part of the issue. So, like, sure, the Immortal Sun shuts off all their planeswalkers. I mean, the 6 mana is not really that big of an issue, because our deck does have a lot of acceleration in it. Like, we've got these, like, roots and stuff in our deck. Yeah, I agree, Navier. The Immortal Sun is a reasonable card if you have creatures that is powering up, but if you don't have creatures that is powering up, it's just like, eh. The Immortal Sun's been good in Gruul. I could see that. So I could, like, try and play this other guild summit before I root here, but I don't really need to draw that many cards, and I kind of want to get the guaranteed draws in from this summit before they, like, hit another Narset or something like that.
Right on, Skit. Keep up the pace.
Every problem has a solution.
I think I'm going to use his down tick as a ramp spell here, basically. And just, like, down tick this and then growth spiral.
Stop that. Now. Don't make another move.
And maybe there's an argument for not poking this so I can mass manipulate it eventually. But poking it does mean if they want to tuck something, it goes away, which is nice.
We need to move quickly.
When you understand reality, you understand yourself.
I think I'm supposed to kill the Ugin here, even though I have this mass manipulation, because, like, there's no guarantee this manipulation resolves is part of the issue.
Or destroy.
Because, like, they are going to untap lands with this. There are 37 cards in my deck. Yeah, Dovin's veto answers mass manipulation plus a thing to the person who said they can't answer it. So getting into an okay position here because my opponent was never able to develop their planeswalkers this game. Largely because we negated their Narset on 2.
Hurry!
Well, you can use expansion to copy a mass manipulation that has X is 0, but expansion can only copy cards that have a converted mana cost of 4 or less, and an X spell includes its converted mana cost, includes the X and its converted mana cost while it's on the stack. I wonder if they left sweepers in their deck or not. This avatar is one of the ones from in the store right now. It comes with, like, some number of foil cards, the avatar, and a sleeve pack. Well, I mean, Ruinous Blast is, like, That's like a sweeper. So, like, they don't have any legendaries in play right now, Marty, so, like, that doesn't really count.
This isn't a fight you can win.
So I get an explosion for 4 here at end of turn, which I probably will do.
Hold that thought.
I have 18 power in play here. So if I explosion them for 4, this is a lethal attack next turn. Alright. If we can keep their planeswalkers off the table, we're kind of okay here. So again, like, thinking about the problems this deck has and, like, trying to adapt it, I wonder if playing some number of Lightning Strike in this archetype would be correct. Like, maybe these should be Lightning Strikes. Because, like, Grazer's not amazing against control, and, like, Lightning Strike kills Narset after she down ticks once. So, like, maybe that could help what we have going on. The Flampler, thank you for the half a year support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So Sand lacks blue mana, but it's got plenty of lands. It's got a root, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. Yeah, I have a standing desk that goes up and down with motors and the like, so I split my time while I stream standing and sitting about 50%. So I'll stand for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and I'll sit for an hour and a half to 2 hours. Although, I messed up my knee when I was at the park with the kids the other day, so I might not do quite as much standing today, because standing for too long makes it hurt.
Don't worry, I got this.
Meh. Unfortunately missing blue mana currently, so I can't Tamiyo next turn. Defree's just very good in general. But notably, he is good against, like, 3+ mana things that don't have an enter the battlefield effect, or at least play effect. For sure. I honestly wouldn't be too surprised to him just, like, land, blast away this Gatebreaker Ram.
Here goes nothing.
They can tuck him in.
I can no longer stand by and watch. Let's take it back.
Meditate.
Feeling pretty impossibly behind here. I have a Negate with no text. I have Tamiyo that does something, maybe. Maybe. I'm like playing to the off chance they don't have a counter spell, and I can like stick Mass Manipulation here in a couple of turns.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
So, while obviously Banefire is very good against the control deck, Clipsy, the purpose I was talking about with Lightning Strike over the Shivan Fire is Lightning Strike's a card that's still good against the aggressive deck. So, remember, there's lots of different decks in this format. You can't just play cards that are only good in a very narrow subset of matches. So, Banefire would be the style of card that's like only good in one specific spot, which I think makes it not good enough.
Like the phases of the moon, life waxes and wanes.
Alright, we got 3 Mass Manipulations in our deck.
Seek and find.
Yikes. Well, 3 and 40. And if they have like a veto or a negate here, we're probably just done for. As always, EchoJin, if you're new, you can find the deck list on the screen overlay. If you're on mobile, there's a Stream Decker icon above the chat to the right. Also, you can type !deck in chat to get a direct link to the deck list. We're playing 4-color gates, as the title implies, Frazzlewaws. As always, the current deck that we're playing will be the first one listed in the stream title, and all the subsequent decks we're going to be playing today are the ones listed afterwards. Always stay very organized around here. Let people know what to expect coming up.
I've got time.
Hey, Ken. Thanks for the half a year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Oh, right. I can't even draw a card. Yep. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and end our run here with this one. I don't think I'm going to take Gates again this season. I felt like this is our second time trying it, and we had similar results to the O2 last time. And again, I think a big part of why this archetype just isn't playable is because the decks that it was really looking to prey on previous seasons, like the mid-range and the control decks to a degree, they got much better tools to fight what this deck is doing, and this deck really just didn't gain any meaningful tools to fight them. So this one is unfortunately a miss now, but it is